Hi, I'm Candy Leyenbauer, and I wanted to make this short little video about the FPEA Homeschool Convention that I just attended a couple days ago. I came home just last night. It is something that's held every Memorial Day weekend, and I think this is probably my fourth time that I've been to it, maybe fifth. But I get so much out of it, and I just wanted to send this little recap about what it was about, so that anyone who's never been or is in our homeschooling group could feel like they knew what to get out of it. The one thing that I really thought was interesting, well, this was the first year that it was held at the Rosen Shingle Creek in Orlando. I thought it was a good hotel. Usually it was held at the Gaylord Palms, but this one was first for me, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Let's see, some things that I liked about it. Keynote speakers are always the best. This one right here was on Friday. This is Todd Wilson. I don't know if you can see him. He's awesome. He's a comedian and he does The Family Man. I love all of his stuff. And this one right here was Connie Albers. She was one of the keynote speakers as well this year. Every year I love the keynote speakers, so I wanted to make sure I went to them, but I've actually heard and been inspired by these two speakers before, so I thought that was a good thing. In our homeschooling group, we are faith-friendly for all faiths, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk a little bit today. The FPEA is a homeschool convention with Judeo-Christian principles, but it's really a Christian homeschooling convention. But I think as I was attending this weekend, I was trying to figure out how it would work for all of our families in our homeschooling group. And I think there's still a way for people who are not necessarily Christian to enjoy this conference. There were so many talks and seminars and different things for sale that were really for parents in general. And I did see a Muslim family walking around, and I also saw a woman with a mohawk. The woman had the mohawk. So it seems to me that more and more people are coming to the convention, even if they don't fit into the typical who you would think the audience would be. So for our families who attend our homeschooling group, I think that if you look down in the guide that they give you, there is a brief synopsis of who the person is that's speaking. If it says the person is a pastor, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to be really heavy on the Christian way that they do things, lots of scriptures and different things. However, I would say half of them are targeted to just anybody. There's really not a big slant on it. It's just for parents in general and learning. Let's see, some of my favorite speakers from this session this year was Diane Kraft. She was a special ed teacher and a reading specialist. I really liked her information a lot. She gave lots of tips. In our homeschooling group, I've noticed that there's a lot of special needs and different reading struggles, and even in my own family, I'm having a hard time motivating certain kids to do things. Like, it's easy to teach one kid how to read, and then suddenly it's really difficult. So I thought it would be great to attend her speech. And I really found it fascinating. I'm going to go to her website, but her name is Diane Kraft, and I really loved hers. Jennifer Murph, she was really fun. She's a millennial mom, and she gave tips on how to do Instagram and Facebook and getting the millennial mom interested in homeschooling stuff. I really appreciated her feedback. And of course, Andrew Pudewo, he's awesome. I really like him at every session, and somebody said, hey, you should take a picture with Andrew Pudewo at any homeschooling conference you go to. So I took a selfie with him, so I'll have to put that on. It's pretty funny. So some of the things that I learned from this conference are not necessarily just homeschool based, but some of them were organization, how to organize my homeschooling life, how to organize my family life, discipline. When you're a parent, you need to know how to discipline your kids, how to do annual evaluations, talks on nutrition. I still remember a talk on nutrition that I heard maybe 3 or 4 years ago on eating whole wheat bread that is freshly ground. So when you attend a seminar live in person, it's a lot more impactful than just reading about it. How to communicate with your family, with your spouse, with your homeschooling group. how to tame the techno beast, and how to deal with your teenagers, and leadership. I think, well, I did attend the leadership seminar this year. Anybody can go to it. If you want to attend the leadership seminar, you just need to sign up for it. It is on Thursday, and then the regular families meet on Friday and Saturday for the convention. Let's see, some other things. This year I did sign my kids up for the children's program and also the teen program. My 9 and 10-year-old went to the children's program. My 9-year-old was a little hesitant. She didn't want to go at first, but when I checked back in on them and asked how it went, they were really thrilled to be there the next day, and they wanted to go as soon as they could. So I thought that was good feedback for homeschool kids. And my teens loved what they did. This year they focused on murder mystery type things, a lot of debate and prosecution, mock trial, different things like that. So they were taking notes and trying to figure out who did it. It was a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Oh, I would definitely recommend bringing an extra bag. I brought a really big purse so that I could shove things in there, but halfway through the convention I was wishing that I had brought my rolly cart. I thought, I'm not going to even really get a lot of stuff this session. I own a lot of homeschool materials already, so I'm not going to buy very much. But when you walk through the curriculum hall, there's always something that grabs your attention. So and there's flyers and purses, and your kid wants you to carry such and such a thing. So I wished I would have carried my rolling cart. Let's see what else. Oh, food. I wanted to give this little tidbit because I know I'm going to go again in the future sometime. Right across the street there was this really great pizza joint. It was called NYPD Pizza, just a couple minutes away, and we probably ate there 3 or 4 times because it was so economical compared to the food that was found on site at the convention. We did eat on site too. They had boxed meals, turkey sandwiches, and cookies and granola bars, but they were pretty pricey and a little dry at some times. Just being honest, NYPD Pizza was really good. And I think that's it. Oh, parking. We did end up staying on site just because in the past I did stay off site and I felt like I missed out on a lot of the little extra things that were at the convention. So this year we made a point to stay on site. But if you wanted to stay off site, there's parking of $18 a day or so, I think. And if you stay on site, it was $9 a day. But you are free to run back and forth to your room if you forgot something or you just want to go take a nap. There was also a lot of couches around, which I thought were helpful. So if you felt overwhelmed by the conference, that you could get away from the sound of people walking everywhere. There were over 4,000 attendees this year, and plus vendors and children. So I'm thinking it was around probably 5,000 people at the conference. So that was a pretty good turnout. So all in all, I thought it was a great time. The Sacred Music Festival, which I tried to get some of our group to go to participate in singing, was really great. They had groups show up in full formal gowns to do a singing competition. I saw lots and lots of kids walking around with violins, lots of kids in formal gowns and best Sunday dresses so that they could compete in the music competition, which is really great. As homeschoolers, we can't really do the solo and ensemble things for school, so this was the homeschool way of doing it, and there were a lot of participants, so that was really good. I guess my final takeaway was FPEA was really great. I think in the future maybe I'll make a comment to the organizers of the event that because that it was a little more friendly for members of all faiths, because homeschoolers are everyone. If you're a parent, you can be a homeschooler too, but it would be nice that if in the manual or thing that they put together, maybe they could put an extra tag if this was particularly biblical content or not. But you could put on your ears of this is for me, this is not for me. But I think it was a really great convention overall, and I plan to go again in the future. Thanks.